Our breakdown of the 2013 Texas State football roster continues here on the new website, txstatebobcats.com, from the Darren B. Casey conference room. Brant Freeman alongside Bill Colhane. We have broken down freshmen, broken down sophomores, and now we look at the Bobcat Juniors, Bill, and some great names on this list. We'll start with the true juniors. Some of them are new Bobcats, like C.J. Best, a running back transfer, Marcus Dallas Jr., Trey Garrett, Will Johnson, the kicker, Brandon Jones in the secondary, David Mayo at linebacker, Chris Peterson, another JUCO transfer, Brandon Sarabia, Colby Targan, two-sport star, baseball and football, Demetrius Woodard in the secondary, and Rusman Nekosiewicz, not a fun name to pronounce there. So looking at the true juniors when it comes to 2013 production, who are you looking at?
Well, just a few of the guys from the junior class, and we'll start with Will Johnson. Will promises 2013, like the first 2 years of his Bobcat career, he's going to be an important weapon for Coach Fran and the Bobcats. Looking at Will's numbers here at Texas State, 25 of 41 in his career in field goals. He comes off a season ago, 12 of 17 splitting the uprights. A guy with a cannon leg. He has a school record 54-yard field goal that he nailed in the win against New Mexico State a year ago. Also had a 52-yarder in the win against the Lumberjacks of SFA a season ago. And despite his ability to kick field goals, and Will Johnson is high level in that area, you know, when we speak with Coach Fran, he talks about Will's ability to kick the ball off. A year ago, 20 of his 37 kickoffs were touchbacks, and that's going to help any special teams coverage ability. Look for Will Johnson to have a great year. Let's go to defense. You mentioned the name David Mayo. Got off to a tremendous start a year ago as a sophomore, a guy who came into the program and just took over one of the starting linebacker positions. Unfortunately, only played 7 games a year ago. Despite that, he was 7th on the team in tackles. He's a guy who, you know, hopefully he can bounce back from his injury. I'm sure he will, because he's a hard worker. He has a good head on his shoulders. He'll be able to get back out there for the Bobcats and have a productive 2013. You mentioned newcomers Chris Peterson. With the loss of Chase Harper a year ago, Chase caught 28 balls and 3 touchdowns. Need to find somebody to pick up that production. And Chris Peterson, an outstanding candidate. He's a guy, 6'3", 235 pounds, and growing, I might add. Comes from a very good Shabbat College program out in California in the JUCO ranks. And he'll be a target for the Bobcat quarterbacks here in 2013. I'm confident.
Well, again, that's the true juniors. Now the Redshirt Juniors. Jeremy Dickey, Colin Fussell, Terrence Franks, a running back, Michael Gilmore, receiver, Drew Hamilton, a special teamer and a linebacker, Ben Aija at receiver, a guy that kind of gets lost in the talks of Battle and Erickson and Smith. David Lewis, speaking of tight ends, Craig Meagher in the secondary might be one of the Bobcats' best overall players. Bradley Miller, hybrid tight end receiver type. Micah Rakpo, player a lot of people are talking about. And Charlie Will Tuttle, along with the guy who really came on in the spring, Michael Odiari.
Talk about Craig Meagher, first of all. You mentioned the junior out of Luling. Craig Meagher has started every football game that he's played for the Bobcats. 24 straight starts at cornerback for the Bobcats. Had a career-high 4 interceptions a year ago. He's a guy, he's a physical type corner. Those 50-50 balls, Craig Meagher is going to win those balls more times than not. Despite all that, if you want an illustration of his athleticism, a year ago in the win against New Mexico State, a school record 79-yard punt return for a touchdown. Meagher can do it all. Big things from him this year. Micah Rakpo, new name to the program, but he has taken over a part of the leadership of this football program. Transfer from Colorado State, had 5 tackles in limited action in the Maroon and Gold spring game. I promise you, Brant, he's going to have more than 5 tackles on many Saturdays this year. Charlie Will Tuttle. Seems like Charlie Will's been here forever. You'll remember 2 years ago over in Nacogdoches, took over at center against the Lumberjacks, and since then he's been a fixture on the offensive line. He's moved to offensive guard. He's a road grader. He's the kind of guy that when he blocks you, you stay blocked. Charlie Will, he's a keeper.
That's a great group. Meagher, Rakpo, Charlie Will Tuttle, part of the Redshirt Juniors, and this year we'll look out for Big Rack Nation is what they're calling him. So,
and he wears number 1.
That's right. Very fitting for Rakpo. Well, that's a look at the juniors. In our next segment of the breakdown, we go to the Bobcat seniors here online at txstatebobcats.com.